Good morning students. This session is for class 8th. Students, in last session we have completed the topic that is exploring forces, and in last session we have seen that if forces applied on an object in the same directions, they add to one another, and if they applied in opposite directions, then resultant or net force is difference between the two forces, and the strength of force is usually expressed by the magnitude, and we know that magnitude means the numerical value. Okay, so we have discussed these things in last session. Okay, today we are going to study about the topic that is a force can change the state of motion. So this is the topic. And I am sure you have your experience about this topic. A force can change the state of motion. So let's see. Let us now find out what happened when a force acts on an object. So you can see activity 11.3. Take a rubber ball and place it on a level surface such as a tabletop or a concrete floor. So this one is activity actually. Take a rubber ball and place it on a level surface, okay, such as a tabletop or a concrete floor. Now gently push the ball along the level surface, figure 6.11.6. Now does the ball begins to move? Now push the ball again while it is still moving. Is there any change in its speed? Does it increase or decrease? So let's see. Next, place your palm in front of the moving ball and remove your palm as soon as the moving ball touches it. Does your palm apply a force on the ball? What happens to the speed of the ball now? Does it increase or decrease? What would happen if you let your palm hold the moving ball? So you can see this one is the ball, and you can see the figure 11.6 related to a ball at rest begins to move when a force is applied on it. Now you might recall the similar situations, for example, while taking a penalty kick in football. The player applies a force on the ball. Before being hit, the ball was at rest and so its speed was 0. Okay, I hope you understand. Now the applied force makes the ball move towards the goal, and suppose the goalkeeper drives or jump up to save the goal. By his action, the goalkeeper tries to apply a force on the moving ball, and the force applied by him can stop or deflect the ball, saving a goal being scored. Now if goalkeeper succeeds in stopping the ball, its speed decreases to 0. These observations suggest that a force applied on the object may change its speed. If the force applied on the object is in the direction of the motion, the speed of the object increases, and if the force is applied in the direction of opposite to the direction of motion, then it results in a decrease in speed of the object. So you can see here these are the situations, and the result is given here. I have seen children competing with one another in moving a rubber tire or a ring by pushing it. I now understand why the speed of tire increase whenever it is pushed. So when he pushed by this stick to this tire, its speed is continuously increasing. This is due to the applied force. If you apply a force continuously on this moving a tire, it will continuously moving in some forward direction with high speed. Okay, so this is due to the continuously applied force. So you can see here, to move a tire faster, it has to be pushed repeatedly. Okay. Now you can see here, Paheli is curious to know whether application of force can only change the speed of an object. So Paheli is a student and she is very curious to know whether the application of a force can only change the speed of an object or there is something else. So let's see, and we will understand this by using the activity 11.4. So take a ball and place it on a table surface as you did in activity 11.3. Make the ball move by giving it a push. Now place a rubber in its path as shown in figure 11.8. You can see this one is the activity actually. Okay, it is moving and return back. Now place a ruler in its path as shown in figure 11.8b. In doing so, you apply a force on the moving ball. Does the ball continue to move in the same direction after it strikes the ruler? So your answer must be no. Repeat the activity and try to obstruct the moving ball by placing the ruler in such a way that it makes different angles to its path. Okay, in each case note your observations about the direction of motion of the ball after it strikes the ruler. So you can see in this activity the ball is moving in this direction and after striking with the ruler it will change its direction. Okay, so you can see a ball is set in the motion by pushing it along a level surface, and the direction of the motion of the ball after it strikes the ruler placed in the path. Okay, so you can see it means the force can change the direction of motion of an object. So let us see the explanation. So you can see, let us consider some more examples in a game of volleyball. Players often push a moving ball to their team mates to make a winning move. Okay, now sometimes the ball is returned to the other side of the court by pushing or smashing it. In cricket, a batsman plays his or her shot by applying a force on the ball with the bat. Is there any change in the direction of the motion of the ball in these cases? In all these examples, the speed and the direction of the moving ball changes due to the application of a force. Can you give a few more examples of this kind? Now, a change in either the speed of an object or its direction of motion or both is described as a change in its state of motion. Thus, a force may bring a change in the state of motion of an object. Now, what is state of motion? So you can see here, the state of motion of an object is described by its speed and the direction of the motion. The state of rest is considered to be the state of zero speed. An object may be at rest or in motion. Both are its state of motion. So you can see this one is about the state of motion. Let me repeat the statement. The state of motion of an object is described by its speed and the direction of the motion. The state of rest is considered to be the state of zero speed. An object may be at rest or in motion. Both are its state of motion. So if object is in rest, you can say its speed is 0. Okay, and if it is moving with some speed, then it is moving with some speed. The speed can be different, but you can say in both the cases you can see you can say the states of motion of the object, but in case of rest it is in 0 speed. Okay, and when it is moving it must have some speed. So I hope you understand what is meaning of state of motion. The rest is also state of motion, but its speed is 0 in this case. Okay, so you can see here, does it mean that the application of a force would always result in a change in the state of motion of the object? So this one is the question, and I hope you can give answer of this question. Does it mean that the application of a force would always result in a change in state of motion of the object? So what is your answer? So let us find out the answer of this question. It is common experience that many a time application of force does not result in change in the state of motion. Okay, so many time it is not the result, that is there is no change in state of motion. For example, a heavy box may not move at all even you apply the maximum force that you can exert. You can experience this by pushing the wall of your room, or you can push a pole standing in some field, or you can push something very heavy, and you will experience that even you will apply your maximum effort, your maximum force, but then even it is in the same state of rest. So it means it is not necessary that after applying a force the object will be in motion, but if force is very large then it will be. So you can see here again, no effect of force is observed when you try to push the wall. So now we are ready to understand the concept that is force can change the shape of an object. So I hope you know about the shape. What is meaning of shape? So shape is related to the geometry of the object. Suppose you know the ball is spherical, then you have seen many other different things which have different shape. So you can imagine something which has shape cube, then cuboid, then you can say triangle, rectangle. So there are different shapes according to the cylinder. You know about cylinder. So these are known as the shapes. So the point is force can change the shape of an object. So are you sure? So let's see activity 11.5. Some situations have been given in column 1 of the table 11.2 in which objects are not free to move, and column 2 of the object suggests the manner in which a force can be applied on each object, while column 3 shows a diagram of the action. Try to observe the effect of force in as many situations as possible, and you can also add similar situations using available material from your environment. Note your observations in column 4 and 5 of the table. So let's see, table 11.2 is here, studying the effect of force on the object. So you can see here the table and try to complete this table. So let's see, the description of situations are given here. How to apply the force, diagram, action of force, change in state of motion. So you can say yes or no. Change in shape, you can say yes or no. So let's see, a lump of dough on a plate. So this one is the description of the situation. Now how to apply the force? So force is applied by pressing it down with your hand. You can see the muscular force here. Okay, so change in state of motion or not, you have to fill here, and change in shape or not, you have to fill here. Okay, now in the second case you can see here, spring fixed to the seat of cycle. How to apply force? By sitting on the seat. When the student or the person is sitting on the seat, he must apply some force. It means his weight on the spring. Third point. So is there any change in state of motion or state of shape? I hope you know in these two cases there is no change in state, because it is in rest. This one is also in rest, but change in shape, yes, there is change in shape, and in this case spring is compressed, sorry, expand. Okay, when you applied force, spring is expand. In this case, when you apply muscular force, the shape of this dough is changed. Third point is here, a rubber band suspended from a hook nail, you can say hook or nail, fixed on a wall. By hanging a weight or by pulling it, it's free. So what happened? It's change in state of motion. Now you have to feel by yourself, and change in shape. There is another case, a plastic or metal scale placed between two bricks. You can see here a metallic scale is placed between two bricks. By putting a weight at the center of the scale, put here some weight. So what happened? There is no change in state of motion, but you can see the shape is changed. So you can see here, what do you conclude from the observations noted in table 11.2? What happens when you apply a force on an inflated balloon by pressing it between your palms? And what happens to the shape of a ball of dough when it is rolled to make a chapati? What happens when you press a rubber ball placed on the table? In all these examples, you saw that the application of a force on an object may change its shape. So you can see here, when you apply force on an inflated balloon by pressing it between your palm, its shape gets changed. Similarly, when you apply the force on the shape of ball of dough, it will also change in the shape of circle. This one is the sphere. And when you apply a force on rubber ball, it will also change its shape from sphere to oval. So in all these applications, you saw that the application of force on an object may change its shape. Having performed all the above activities, you would have realized that a force, so the force can perform following things. A force first may make an object move from fast, may make an object move from rest. You can see the first line, may make an object move from rest. Second, may change the speed of an object if it is moving. Third point, may change the direction of the motion of an object. May bring about a change in shape of an object. And last point, may cause some or all of these effects. So you can see these are the effects which force can perform. So after discussion of the chapter, we will find this is the result which force can do. First one is it may make an object move from rest. Second, it may change the speed of an object if it is moving. Third, it may change the direction of motion of object. Fourth, it may bring about a change in the shape of an object. And next, it may cause some or all of these effects. So the force can perform these effects, okay, in an object. While a force may cause one or more of these effects, it is important to remember that none of these actions can take place without the action of force. So, since force can cause these effects, but in absence of force, no action can be done. Okay, without force, ये सभी बिना फोर्स के नहीं हो सकते हैं. So, thus an object cannot move by itself, and it cannot change its speed by itself. It cannot change its direction by itself, and it cannot change its shape by itself. So in absence of force, these actions cannot be performed. Okay, it means if there is no force, there is no change in state of motion. If there is no force, there is no change in speed. There is no force, there is no change in direction. There is no force, there is no change in shape. Okay, so this is very important, and this property by which the object cannot change their shape or state or anything direction of motion is known as the inertia of the body. Okay, so inertia is the property of body by which it cannot change its state by itself in absence of any external force. So that is known as inertia. So let me repeat, what is inertia? I am sure you have understand that in absence of force, a body cannot change its speed, a body cannot change its direction, a body cannot change its shape. Okay, so this inability of the body is known as inertia. Okay, and what is the inability? Inability is it cannot change its speed by itself, it cannot change its direction by itself. Okay, so these are inability. So these are the there is a property by which this happened is known as inertia. Now we are ready to understand the concept of contact forces. So let's see what are contact forces. First one is the muscular force. So can you push or lift a book lying on a table without touching it? Yes, your answer is no. Can you lift a bucket of water without holding it? Now you can give your answer. Generally, to apply a force on an object, your body has to be in contact with the object, and the contact may also be with the help of a stick or a piece of rope. When we push an object like a school bag or lift a bucket of water, where does the force come from? So I am sure you can give answers of this question. Okay, when we push an object like a school bag or lift a bucket of water, where does the force come from? Of course from your muscles. Okay, or you can say by your hand. So these forces is caused by the action of muscles in our body. The force resulting due to the action of muscles is known as the muscular forces. So if you want to lift a bucket, if you want to push your bag, if you want to lift a book, you must use your hand. In all these cases, you are applying force by your hand, and these forces are known as the muscular forces. So it is the muscular force that enables us to perform all activities involving movement or bending of our body. In class 7th, you have learned that in the process of digestion, the food gets pushed through the alimentary canal. Could it be muscular force that does it? Now, this one is the question. You also know that the lungs expand and contract while we inhale and exhale air during the breathing. Where are these muscles located which make the breathing possible? Can you list a few more examples of the force exerted by muscles in your body? So I'm sure you can give examples. You are using your feet many times in when you are cycling bicycle and doing exercises. You are using your different organs of the body. In games, of course, you are using your hand and your feet. So you are continuously using your muscular force from different parts of the body in different actions. So you can give answers of the questions asked in this box. Okay, these are very easy and it is related to your personal experience. Okay, so let's see. Animals also make use of muscular force due to carry out their physical activities and other tasks. Animals like bullocks, horses, donkeys, and camels are used to perform various tasks for us. In performing these tasks, they use muscular forces. So you can see in this figure 11.9, muscular force of animals is used to carry out many difficult tasks. The two bullocks are continuously drawing this cart. Okay, so these two animals are using their muscular force in this case. So animals are also using their muscular forces for performing some difficult task. So you can see here, since muscular force can be applied only when it is contact with an object, so it is also called contact force. And the question is, are there other type of contact forces? So you have to search this type of forces which can affect any other object by touching only. Okay, so contact means you can apply the force by the contact only. Okay, without contact these forces cannot change the state of another object. So these forces work only when they are contact with another body. Okay, so I'm sure you have idea about contact force. So students, there are different types of forces, but contact force is one of the force which you can apply by touching an object, and the muscular force is one of the most important example of the contact force. You can say the tension is another example of the contact force. When you stretch a string, there is tension in the string and it try to regain its original shape. Suppose I am going to give you one example of tension. So suppose you have a rubber band. Okay, now you can stretch this rubber band by using muscular forces by your two hands. You can say right and left hands. Okay, now if you remove the force, what happened? You know that the rubber band regained its shape, its initial configuration, you can say, means its initial length. So why it comes in its initial state? Because when you apply some force by two hands, there is another force developed inside the rubber band, and that force is known as tension in that string, and it help the rubber band to regain its initial shape, or you can say initial length. Okay, so students, contact forces are, are those forces which can change the state of an object by touching only. Without touching they cannot affect any object. Examples of these forces are muscular force and tension. You can say other forces. Okay, so try to search other contact forces. So students, I hope you understand the concept of contact force in this session. Thank you for watching. In next session we will discuss about the friction and non-contact forces. So you can search about the contact forces and think about one question: each friction is also a contact force? If yes, then your task is done. It means you search one of the contact force, that is known as friction. Okay, and now you can search other contact forces. So in this session we have searched three contact forces. First one is the muscular force, second one is the tension, third one is the friction. So similarly you can search other forces. Okay, and you can complete friction by yourself. I have already discussed the friction by using one of the PPT in the last sessions, so you can do this. So thank you for watching this session. Keep studying. Thank you.